Welcome to the show. It's spring break. It's spring break 2020. Yay! Some people, they plan a spring break vacation. They got 2 week note and in 2 week notice to their boss. That didn't include me because I have to work those days. Someone's got to flip the burgers and drop the fries. And that's me. Now for colleges, spring break can be like any time. You can just have your spring break like any time. And you may be thinking, well, where can I go for spring break? We got some prayers and answers for you because this show is going to be talking about spring break and where you can go. You can go to Hawaii for spring break. You can go to some of the all recommended places for your spring break vacation, but it's only for 5 days. So you can go to Dominica, you can go to the Caribbean, you can go to Panama City Beach, Florida, you can go to Indianapolis, you can go to Florida. You can go to Cancun, you can go to South Padre Island, Texas. You can go anywhere. But what about for college students? These are the destinations. You can go to South Padre Island Drive, Cancun, Jamaica. Here's the thing about college students spring break. Because there are stories in there that for spring break, like last year, we talked about the case of the Kane student that was dripped to the floor because of the rip currents. His name was Johnny Smith. Now on a spring break, because because of this coronavirus, you have to travel at your own risk. You have to travel at your own risk. We'll get to the coronavirus in a minute. But the thing you must remember here is that don't get sick on spring break because you won't be able to go on your vacation. In spring break, many people want to go party and stuff. You only have 5 days of spring break. For schools, that's a different thing. But still, you can go to any types of these. You can go to you can go to any place, but as long as you don't drink too much. If you drink too much, then it's going to be a big problem here because you're going to be waking up one day and not going to school. Even for high schoolers, the risk of alcohol for minors. That's why alcohol's not allowed, but many people drink. You want to have a good time? Well, go to the beach. Don't bring some alcohol with you because you're under the age of 21. I hear people who are under the age of 21 are drinking. I don't drink. And I'm glad I don't drink alcohol. And if I were to drink alcohol, I would have been drunk. Drunk driving happens every day because of stuff like this. You need to have a designated driver with you at all times. The person who cannot drink. If you're the designated driver, you cannot drink. You just get yourself some water, get yourself some Coke, no alcohol. You bring alcohol with you, then you're done. Seriously, we have the coronavirus spreading. and then many people want to go have a great time, but the coronavirus is spreading. I would suggest you spend your spring break at home and don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere near. So I'm going to tell you right now. Spring break is just a safety issue here. Don't be going out in riptides. Like I told you earlier, you need to stay in the shallow end of the water. Period. Because the biggest thing that can happen here is that you're drinking during your high school days and then you're done. You could be going next day, drink on Sunday and during your last day of your spring break, and then you get hungover, and then it's like you're going to school asleep. And for college kids, college is a great time when you can go. You can stay. I mean, you can just take a road trip to go visit a friend. You can stay on campus, revisit your hobbies. You can just do whatever you want for your college. Perhaps, but college is a time when you could just, where you just feel like you have your own independence. Many times look at this, listen to both sides. I don't know what to believe. I mean, it's just something that I want to keep students safe and to get the best education to get. But when high schoolers go out and drink, then what can really happen here is that they go to school the next day, they get hungover, and then the principal's like, "Did you drink last night?" You say no, and then they smell, and then like, "Oh, I smell alcohol on you." Like, really? Because I smell alcohol on you. But what you really have to do here is say, "I'm not going to drink this spring break. I'm going to just go hang out with my friends. Go to the beach and hang out." Well, that's a good thing to do. But I'm gonna tell you something. Spring break is just a time to just relax from school. Those are the only times you just play your video games, do whatever you want. That's the time. The bottom line here is don't get sick, don't drink too much, plus don't drink too much, plus don't drink and drive, plus don't drink under the age of 21 because I want everyone to be safe. That's it for the spring break topic. We're going to take a break. We're going to move on to some top. We're going to move on. Next, getting a job while you're in school. I mean, can it really be taken away from school? I think I talked about this before. We're going to talk about it again when we come back. That is something I think I might have talked about some years ago. It's all about working while you're in school. Not college, high school. You can actually improve your chances of graduating. I mean, but still, is it okay to work during school hours? No. You know, I mean, thinking, I used to work while I was in high school. I didn't have a problem. Well, that's because of your boss. Your boss understanding you go to school, he works your schedules, all that stuff. I understand. But your job cannot be taken away from school. You're here to go to school, get your diploma, get your education, and then if you want to get a job, you gotta wait till you get your high school diploma. What I think really needs to happen here is that we've got to change the policy on the application that says if you do not complete high school, you will not apply. The reason for this is if you let them apply, they work here. They leave class to go work, and then the school calls the parents. The parent calls the kid, say, "Hey, where are you?" Like, "I'm at work. Why aren't you in school?" It's like, why aren't you in school? And you're like, "Because I wanted to work." And then they get a truancy officer here to go get you and bring you back to school. So that's why it cannot be taken away from school. You need to stay in school. And then school districts would just have to sit there, just have to say, we can't have this happen because we have to make a rule. You can't. I mean, that's why I closed campus. That's why FBISDs have closed campus. You cannot leave campus. Period. I mean, if you're in college, it's okay. I mean, if you're working while you're in college, it's okay. But in high school, you can't do it because it's taking away from your school. I mean, the other reason why it is, you decide you want to work after school until 11 o'clock. You're not going to get much sleep. What you're probably going to start doing here is you're just going to start sleeping in class. That is the big issue here. I mean, these are the reasons why people sleep in class. Video games, working late, staying up all night. I don't care if you're an Xbox match someone. I don't care if you have to work late. You cannot be working while you're in school because it takes away school hour. Because it takes away school. It really does. You don't believe me? You can ask the director of security yourself. Because I know. You can't balance school and work. I mean, you may think that making money is more important. You have to finish school first, then when you get your diploma, then you can apply. If you lie to your boss, say you graduated high school, and say okay, they say okay, and then they ask you, did you graduate high school? And you say yes. And it's like they have to say, show me your diploma. And it's like, I'm sorry, I do not have my diploma. Then the boss is going to be like, I'm sorry, but if you don't have your diploma, you cannot work here. That's policy. And if they ask why, just say specifically, we don't want the school district, we don't want school districts calling, we don't want the Pueblo school district looking for accusing us of hiring someone who's still in school. We need truancy officers. I mean, they have to understand that if you work while you're in school, it's going to take away a lot of school. You won't be able to graduate because you decide to skip school. And if you look at the chart, student borrowing is like 16%. Grant scholarships like 30%, 32%. It's like parent income and students to income and savings. So don't give people a hard time. I mean, you can't work while you're in high school, period. You gotta wait till after you graduate, and then you can work. So you need to wait till after you get your diploma. Once you get to your diploma, then you can. Then what you can do is. Then what you really can do is work. Show your boss your diploma. Done. Don't lie to your boss and say that I have a diploma. If they ask you, show me your diploma, and you don't have your diploma, then you're still in high school. So the bottom line here is we don't need to skip class to go work. If you try to balance that, then what can really happen here is you're going to get in a lot of trouble and then you're wondering, and then your teacher's gonna wonder why you're sleeping in class, and they write you up, and then it's like your principal's like, why are you here? Like, what happened? I mean, the only reason you're sleeping in class is because you decided to work. We can't have that because it takes away school hours. And then you're saying to your assistant principal, like, oh, I work after school. I mean, what time do you work? I work 4:30 to 11. That's unacceptable. That is too long hours. You're not going to get enough sleep. What I recommend is you work part-time. 4 hours a day. Like me. I work part-time, so it's 4 hours a day. I work 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. So if you were to say like 4:10, like 4:30 to 8:30, that's like 5 to 9. I don't think it would work, but you could ask like do like at 8:30 to 4:30 to 8:30. That's okay. If you work long hours, you won't get enough sleep. And then you're sitting there sleeping because you're working late. Unacceptable. Alright, so that's the working in school thing because I need to just get it out there. Alright, coming up. It's teachers versus students. Teachers picking on students. We talked about this we talked about a video earlier that we talked about a video on Tuesday about a student finding a teacher use profanity. Now it's going to be different. We're going to show you some stuff after the break. Now it's time for teachers picking on students. No, we're not talking about teachers bullying students. We're talking about teachers fighting students. That's what I mean by picking. You're fighting them. This video, this was the viral video, was a fight between an African American music teacher, Mason Riley, and a 14-year-old student, Watson Riley, and a 14-year-old minor. Now, if you look at the video, you would see that the teacher tried to assault the kid. Many parent people say it was both their fault, the student and the teacher. It was all because of a dress code violation. So what happened was, during the video was, before he said he better leave, before he said he better leave and punched him, he threw a basketball at him. And then that is when he hit him, and then he hit the student, and then he hit him last. And he was grabbing his leg, and he's like, and then people were like, whoa, whoa, and then people were like, whoa, 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 and then they just always do that to film it. And then this person says oh, it was just a student. It was both their faults. Now, I looked at the video very closely. What I found out was when I was in school, if you threw the first punch, you would be sent to SDGC. That's what I learned. If it was the teacher would have been fired. But instead, he got arrested. This video was a year ago. And now this substitute teacher was arrested. This was assault.
ABC's Trevor Ault, Texas teacher under arrest for assault after cell phone video emerged showing a brutal classroom attack on a sophomore student. ABC's Trevor Ault has the details, and we do want to warn you, this footage is disturbing.
Yes.
Tonight, a violent moment inside a Texas classroom.
This was months ago.
Viral. As a result, the community demanding answers after authorities say this substitute teacher was seen on video unleashing a vicious attack on this 16-year-old student, throwing a flurry of punches, then dragging the teen to the ground, finally stomping on her head. That teacher, 32-year-old Tiffany Langford, now charged with aggravated assault. A student in the class saying Langford had become increasingly agitated at the Spanish language class, eventually closing in on the victim.
The student swung because she was in her face and pressing her.
The immediate onslaught that followed, leaving the student wailing on the ground.
I was just sort of like stuck. I didn't know how to react.
The student's attorney says she has epilepsy. The school district says Langford did pass a background check when they hired her in August, adding there is absolutely no excuse or circumstance that can justify what you see unfold on the video. The school district has now fired this teacher. She was arrested Friday on school grounds, but has since bonded out of jail. Tom, Trevor.
So the bottom line here is this. That's assault right there. I don't care if he has epilepsy, agitated or not. If he starts agitating, you walk up to him and say, what's wrong? If it becomes a problem, you write him a referral. If you have to, you send him to the office. But you don't ever, never, ever put your hands on a student in anger. You never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever put your hands on a student. Never. And somehow or another you think that's funny. Tell me what's funny about that. You just don't put your hands on a student. Never. You don't. You never, ever put your hands on a student. And anybody that does is a chicken shit coward. So I'm glad this person got arrested years ago for this. And there are lots more other videos to come. Even this one that started the fight, this teacher, this coach was like losing his cool when he started yelling at him. And then after that video, there was a petition to get the coach back. We don't know what happened. But still, you just don't put your hands on a student. Never. Unless your hand's shaking. That's okay. But still, you don't ever, never, ever put your hands on a student. School districts have to be realizing that they have to realize the rules here. But I think what these school districts are doing is just preparing them for war. Trying to leave them defenseless. And all you creeps, any school district creeps that want to write in and say that I'm too tough. Yeah. Any school districts like that want to write in the show, write in and say that I'm too tough and I'm a bully to every school district in America, I don't give a damn. What I'm trying to do is protect teachers, protect students, and make sure that no teacher gets fired and no student gets expelled. They need to get the best education they get the best reward they can get. In fact, I like pissing you off. I'm not picking on school districts because they're not doing a good job of explaining them the rules. As a teacher, what you must not do is put your hands on a student. You're not supposed to hit the student, you're not supposed to touch the student, you're not supposed to take a relationship with the student, etc. You're not supposed to let that happen. Period. Even last year, this teacher for criminal history arrested after the altercation with a student. Teachers have to realize the rules. Don't hit the student, don't engage the student, don't have sex with the student. None of that. And when you're in school, the same rules apply. No sexual relations with students or teachers. I'm going to quote this before I went Jump Street. don't heck knows, don't fuck no students, no teachers, no now the funny face. So again. No fuck no students, no teachers, no PAs, no janitors, none of that. So again, don't heck no students, no teachers, no PAs, no janitors, none of that. It's illegal. And no drugs. Period. Alright, I'll be back. We're off next week because I'm off next week because of spring break. But here's what we have for you coming up in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're going to present to you with a Give Me a Break investigation into school finance. Some videos ago, I talked to you about how we spend our tax dollars, but it changed like every 2 years. So we're going to have an expert come in. It's the same person I talked to you about who did the meeting. You'll see that story in 2 weeks. Then 3 weeks from now is the 20th anniversary of Selena Quintanilla's death, when she was shot by Yolanda Sandoval. We're going to look back at some of the best moments of Selena ever. So look for those stories in 2 to 3 weeks. Just look for the Give Me a Break investigation into school finance in 2 weeks, and look for the Selena story in 3 weeks. In the meantime, that's all the time we have for this Friday. Hope you guys have a good spring break. Stay out of trouble. Don't drink too much, and don't have too much fun. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night.